You've probably walked into your bathroom and caught a smell that isn't dirty, just stale. Familiar in a way that's hard to fix because nothing is obviously wrong. You cleaned everything, it still smells like a bathroom. And somewhere in that same room is a hinge that creaks, a tap that looks dull no matter how often you wipe it, and a mirror that fogs the moment you shower. One bottle fixes all of it. Here's the thing about baby oil. Most people think of it as a skin product, something for babies, or something you use at the beach. It's neither of those things, not really. Baby oil is mineral oil with fragrance added. That's it. Mineral oil is a highly refined, colorless, odorless petroleum derivative that's been used in industrial, medical, and household applications for over a century. It doesn't oxidize, it doesn't go rancid, it doesn't react with most surfaces. And because of those properties, the stability, the non-reactivity, the ultra-thin viscosity that lets it coat surfaces at the molecular level, it turns out to be precisely the right substance for a specific set of household problems that nothing else solves as cleanly. The fragrance added to baby oil is just marketing. The mineral oil underneath it is the actual product. Once you understand what mineral oil does to a surface, every single use on this list makes complete and immediate sense. Stay with me because we're starting with the one that feels too simple to be real. Your toilet paper roll. You've probably tried every air freshener on the shelf, the sprays that last 30 seconds and leave a cloud that smells like synthetic lavender, the plugins that work for 2 weeks and then fade into the background, the reed diffusers that stop diffusing after a month and just sit there looking decorative. Most of them are fighting the smell in the air after the fact, layering fragrance on top of existing odor molecules rather than preventing those molecules from accumulating in the first place. That's why they feel temporary. They are temporary. This approach works differently. Take 2 or 3 drops of baby oil and place them inside the cardboard tube of your toilet paper roll before you put it on the holder. Just the inside of the tube, a few drops, absorb directly into the cardboard. Every time the roll spins, it releases a faint, consistent fragrance into the air. Not a burst, a continuous low-level scent that comes from movement, not from anything being actively dispensed. The cardboard absorbs the mineral oil carrier and slowly releases the fragrance component as it warms to room temperature over the course of the day. When the roll runs out, the next one gets the same treatment. You never think about it again. For the pro upgrade, keep a small Ziploc bag in your bathroom cabinet with a cotton ball carrying 5 drops of your preferred essential oil. Store your spare rolls in the sealed bag overnight before use. The rolls absorb the scent from the saturated air inside the sealed bag. Every roll you put on the holder is already lightly fragranced before it even starts spinning. Consistent, automatic, costs almost nothing. Speaking of things that quietly get worse before you notice how bad they've become, your toilet seat hinges in your water shutoff valve. You've probably heard the creak, the slow grinding resistance every time the seat moves, the kind of noise that sounds like it needs a plumber or a full replacement. Most of the time, it needs neither. Toilet seat hinges are almost always plastic on metal or plastic on plastic, and they creak because the surfaces are dry and slightly corroded from the constant humidity in a bathroom. Not because anything is broken, because nothing has ever been lubricated. Mineral oil is the correct lubricant for exactly this situation. It's non-toxic, it won't degrade the plastic over time, it doesn't attract dust the way silicone sprays can, and it stays stable in humid conditions. Take a cotton bud, dip it in baby oil, and work it into the gap around each hinge pivot. Move the seat up and down a few times to push the oil through the joint. The creak stops, not gradually, immediately. The same principle applies to the water shutoff valve at the base of your toilet, the small valve on the supply pipe that almost nobody ever touches. These valves seize after years of sitting in one position. A few drops of baby oil around the stem and a slow, patient turn back and forth will free it without forcing it. This matters more than most people realize. A seized shut-off valve means that in a plumbing emergency, an overflowing cistern, a failed fill valve, you cannot stop the water flow. Freeing it now costs 30 seconds and a cotton bud. Ignoring it could cost considerably more. And here's the part that changes how your whole bathroom looks, not just how it functions. Your chrome fixtures, you've probably wiped them down and watched them look perfect for about 4 hours before the water spots came back. Chrome is a surface that shows everything, every fingerprint, every water droplet, every faint trace of soap residue, almost immediately after cleaning. Most people use the same general surface spray on chrome that they use on tiles and counters, which lifts visible dirt but leaves the surface completely bare and immediately receptive to the next water drop that lands on it. That's why chrome always looks like it needs cleaning. It's unprotected. Mineral oil changes that. Apply a single drop to a microfiber cloth. 1 drop is genuinely sufficient for an entire tap. And buff it into the surface in small circular motions until it disappears completely. The mineral oil forms an ultra-thin, transparent, stable layer over the chrome that repels water rather than letting it sit. Water beads and rolls off instead of drying in place and leaving a spot. No water spots, not for a day, but for several days at a stretch. The same layer resists fingerprints because skin oils can't bond effectively to a surface that's already coated with a non-reactive oil. Clean the tap, apply the oil, buff until dry. You will not need to clean that tap again for 4 or 5 days. And when you do, the existing mineral oil layer means it takes seconds. The surface is protected between sessions, not just clean during them. Now here's what nobody tells you about stainless steel. And this is the detail most people are missing entirely. Your stainless steel surfaces and appliances. You've probably wiped stainless steel with a cloth and produced smears, then wiped the smears and made more smears, and eventually accepted that stainless steel just always looks slightly wrong no matter what you do. It doesn't have to. Stainless steel has a directional grain, microscopic parallel lines that run across the surface in one direction. Most people wipe in circles or in whatever direction feels natural, which pushes oils and residue across the grain rather than along it. That's where the streaking comes from. Not from the cloth, not from the product, from the direction. Here's the correct approach. Put a single drop of baby oil on a clean, dry microfiber cloth. Find the grain direction by looking at the surface at a low angle in natural light. You'll see faint parallel lines. Wipe only in that direction, in straight passes from one end to the other. The mineral oil fills the microscopic channels in the grain. The cloth lifts residue along the lines rather than across them, and the surface comes out both clean and protected in a single pass. That protection holds. The mineral oil layer means the next fingerprint or grease mark sits on top of the oil rather than bonding directly to the steel itself, which makes each subsequent clean faster than the last. Appliance fronts, sinks, bathroom splashbacks, all of it responds exactly the same way. 1 drop, 1 direction, no streaks every time. And here's the part that changes your morning routine in a way you'll notice every single day. Your bathroom mirror, you've probably cleaned it, stepped into the shower, and come out 2 minutes later to find it completely fogged and useless. That fog isn't just steam, it's water vapor condensing on a cold, bare glass surface because there's nothing between the vapor and the glass to prevent adhesion. Most mirrors are clean and left unprotected, which is why every shower fills them with condensation within 60 seconds of starting. The glass is perfectly clean, it's just completely exposed. Here's the fix. Mix 2 drops of baby oil with a cup of warm water in a small spray bottle. Shake to emulsify. Spray lightly onto the clean mirror and buff dry with a microfiber cloth. No streaks. The mineral oil concentration is low enough to stay transparent and streak-free, but present enough to coat the glass at a molecular level. That coating changes how water vapor behaves on contact. Instead of condensing into a sheet, the vapor beads. The mirror stays clear through a full shower, not partially clear, usably clear. The anti-fog effect lasts 1 to 2 weeks before needing a fresh application, which takes 90 seconds. The same diluted spray works on window glass, shower screens, and mirrored cabinet fronts, cleaning and protecting in one step, leaving a repellent layer that slows the next round of buildup considerably. Apply, buff, and that mirror problem is solved for the foreseeable future. Here's the maintenance habit that pulls this all together. Keep a small bottle of baby oil and a dedicated microfiber cloth in your bathroom cabinet, not in a drawer where you'll forget they exist, somewhere visible. After your usual weekly clean, 1 drop on the cloth for the chrome, 1 drop for any stainless steel in the room. Both done in under 2 minutes. Once a month, a few drops inside the new toilet roll tube, a slow turn of the shutoff valve stem to keep it free, a fresh application of the diluted mirror spray if the anti-fog is fading. That monthly round takes 5 minutes total, not 5 minutes per item. The reason these surfaces keep frustrating people is not that they're difficult to clean. It's that they're cleaned and left completely unprotected, which means each session has to overcome everything that accumulated since the last one. A stable layer of mineral oil between the surface and the environment changes that cycle. The protection from the previous session is still working when the next session starts. Each clean becomes incrementally easier than the one before it. Here's what you understand now that you didn't before you press play. Baby oil isn't a baby product with a few clever side uses. It's mineral oil, one of the most stable, non-reactive, surface protective substances available, with fragrance added to make it shelf ready. The fragrance is the branding. The mineral oil is the tool. And because it's non-oxidizing, non-reactive, and thin enough to coat surfaces invisibly, it works wherever you need a stable, protective, repellent layer. On chrome, on stainless steel, on glass, on plastic hinges, inside cardboard. Not because someone tried it and it seemed to work, because the physical properties of the substance make it the precise match for those materials at a chemical level. The creak that sounds like it needs a plumber is a dry hinge that needs 30 seconds. The water spots that come back the same day are an unprotected surface that needs a single drop. The mirror that fogs every morning is bare glass that needs a molecular coating. The stainless steel that smears no matter what is a grain direction problem, not a product problem. 1 small bottle, 5 completely different problems. 1 material property that explains all of them. If this changed how you see that bottle, subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from.